Hello guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today I'm going to be doing my early championship predictions on the tier list maker like we did with the Premier League. This time it's going to be the championship, all the championship teams there, doing my predictions. So we've got 6th to 1st, so yeah, 7th to 12th, 13th to 17th, 18th to 21st, and 24th to 22nd. Got the predictions up on my iPad here. Should we crack on in no particular order? This is how it ended, not alphabetically, with Norwich City. Well, you think Norwich City and you think definitely up there, and yeah, they are up there. They are 100% up there. I don't see how they can ever be anywhere but top 6 for sure. The thing is, I look at the other teams in this league, and I'm like, Norwich City are, one of the best in the business, really. They may lose a few players, which at the moment I haven't heard of. It's early, 21st of June, so about a month and a bit to go. So, this is my very early. I've got them to be definitely top 6, got them to be first. But they could easily lose players. We lost like Campbell and stuff, but Pookie they got there. I don't know. They could buy a few more players with parachute payment. But yeah, definitely a strong side. And we'll see what they do in the championship this season. But I really don't want them to be first. I don't want them to be that yo-yo club. Yo-yo club. I don't want them to be like first, second, like relegate, promote, relegate, promote, relegate, promote. I want them to stay in the championship or stay in the Prem. Either one. Moving on to Stoke City. We always predict them to be around 7th to 12th, around there, and they never do. They end around, 13th to 17th is where they usually place. In Stoke City, they get a few signings in, a few good signings in, a good system going, a good start to the season. Maybe we'll see the season progress, maybe get top 10 this season. Top 10s are going to be their aim, that's for sure. But Stoke City, for me, nowhere near the level of playoffs. I don't think they're good enough for playoffs. I think they're mid-table at best, and I've got them in that 13th, 17th category. I've got them to be 14th is my prediction with Stoke, but definitely 13th, 17th around there. Mid-table, like 10th to 17th is whereabouts they're going to be next season. But yeah, for me, Stoke City would be 14th. Moving on to Blackburn, they always miss out. They always just miss out, which Blackburn fans definitely be annoyed about. Last season they missed out. I think they came 7th or 8th, something like that. They missed out again. A point against us cost them 99th minute equaliser from us. Probably cost them one. I don't think they did. I think Sheffield United had enough in the tank anyway, so it didn't really cost them. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. Blackburn are a strong side, and I am worried about Blackburn. We've got one more draw away, then I went to the home game, and we drew 2-2, so we drew both games. But I'm going to go Blackburn to miss out again. I'm going to go for 7th, so properly missing out on a team. Yeah, they're properly missing out again, and it's just... They have a really good start. First off season thinking, wow, first, at least top 6. And then they just slip away. And one time they were, 3rd in, December. And then they're, 10th, 9th in February. Just a few bad runs. They can just get a little bit more momentum around Christmas time. I think that's where they usually flop. They usually go. And then they somehow nearly fight their way back. But if they can stop that little bit inconsistency in the middle of the season, I think they can definitely get top 6, but we'll see. Moving on to Cardiff City and another team, and a team I don't think will do that well this season. They're not outstanding, but they're not bad. They're not relegated team. Cardiff City last season had a terrible start, then clawed their way back. They were 17th again, so that'd be their 13th, 17th category. But yeah, Cardiff, I don't think they'll have a brilliant season. I don't think they'll have an overall outstanding season again. But it'll be interesting to see what Cardiff can do. Bring a few more signings in, you'll see what happens. But yeah, for me, Cardiff, just around that 13, 17. Let's say a really good start and they could somehow claw their way near playoffs, of most people expect them to do. But yeah, Moving on to Swansea City, rivals of Cardiff. Yeah, again, same with Cardiff. Really, not that brilliant of a side. I think Cardiff will do a bit better than them. I think Swansea will finish 18th, so one spot between them two, Cardiff and Swansea. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. 17th for Cardiff, 18th for Swansea. But yeah, Swansea can get a new system going. Some few more players in there. They could get playoffs. Or they could get mid-table, even not playoffs. But definitely need a good start, Swansea. Moving on to Sheffield United, you expect them to get playoffs, don't you? I'm not too sure with Sheffield United. I think they're. I don't know. I've got them in top 6 just because it is Sheffield United. But they're a decent side. They're a decent side. They got so unlucky in the playoffs, semi-finals. They were very unlucky. Has to say that. But yeah, Sheffield United, they're a strong side, very strong side, and they could push for top 2. I think they've definitely not secured themselves in the playoffs, but definitely one of the favourites to be in the playoffs. But yeah, it's going to be a very interesting season for Sheffield United. They can buy a few players, get players on loan. Championship, like loaning players to the from other Premier League clubs to the Championship is massive. We did that last season with Clark Salter, Matson, and other players like that, and it really helped us. Now Jay Clark Salter's gone to QPR. I think Matson's linked with like a German team. I'm not too sure. I read something about him, but I forgot. But yeah. So. QPR in our league, aren't they? Well, we're going to have to beat them, aren't we? Yeah, Sheffield United loaning players are massive. Let's see what Sheffield United can do. Moving on to Coventry City. And hear me out here. Hear me out. Alright, so 6th. Sheffield United 5th. Coventry 6th. I think we'll just beat it on Blackburn. But the reason is, the reason is, we're probably going to sell Gyökeres. Fulham and team linked. There's like another team linked with Gyökeres versus Besiktas, which are linked to Gyökeres. 20 mil is what Fulham are offering. Like, Gyökeres is such a big player to us. We've got Godden. Just get Gyökeres out for 20 mil. Then, let's say we sell Hamer for 15 mil. That's 35 mil. Don't sell O'Hare. We're selling JJ Jones. We're selling John Shipley to Shrewsbury. So we're getting money here. We're at least 40 mil here. So we can sell all these players, but bring in some brilliant key players in the Championship. See what we can do there. We haven't signed anyone as of yet. I'm not too. We haven't. So. We'll see what it is. We haven't sold anyone yet as well, apart from, the loanies like Matson. We haven't really sold them, they've just gone back. So, we'll see. But yeah, for me, I think we'll finish 6th. It's bold. It's bold, but for me, that's what I think. But yeah, moving on to Hull City, strong side Hull. I did well last season to survive. That was their main goal last season, was to survive. I think this season, again, it's going to be a struggle. A lot of teams now. It's very even in that middle of the park. Playoffs as well, very even between about 6th to about 18th. It's going to be so even. I don't see any outright relegation. Maybe the bottom 3, but the teams who got promoted. Promoted. So for League One, it's going to be interesting with Hull. I reckon they'll survive. I think they'll be 21st, so they'll survive by 1 place. This season's going to be tough. Definitely very tough for Hull City. But yeah, moving on to Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough didn't have a brilliant season last season. They played alright. Chris Wilder did an alright job. Kept them around 8th place. They weren't, brilliant Middlesbrough, but they weren't bad. I think they beat us or something like that. But definitely frustrating. Middlesbrough, they're a strong side to play, and you play them, you do get quite nervous to play them. They're a strong side, good outfit. For me, I don't think they're playoff worthy. I think they're around 7th to 12th. I think they're somewhere around that place. But yeah, Middlesbrough strong side. I can't wait to see what they can do this season. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Moving on to QPR, they've done a bit of business already. They got James Clarke-Salter from Chelsea, who's on loan from us. We loaned him to us, and then we had to give him back to Chelsea, and then QPR snatched him. So bit frustrating with that one. I think we could have tried to get Clarke-Salter back, but yeah. It's not the end of the world. We can try and find some more centre backs, but we've got enough. Got Rose and got Rose. So and Hyam. How was it? Hyam. I'm manifesting, but we've got a few other centre backs as well. So we're looking good on the centre back partnership. Jake Bidwell can play left centre back. So we've got centre back options. So I don't think it'll be a loss, but it won't be too big of a loss. I think QPR will be around mid-table. 11th I've got them, so that's them to 12th. I don't think they'll be that big of a worry. When they play us possibly, but not that big of a worry. Moving on to Millwall. Well. Millwall had a bit of a good season last season, definitely. I think they were 8th or 9th, so they did not have a bad season. They're always then around mid-table. This season they will slip from 9th. I think they'll be 12th exactly, so exactly mid-table again for Millwall. So they'll be in that 7th to 12th category. It's interesting. It's very interesting to see. But yeah. Millwall strong side. Got a good manager, got a few good players. Jed Wallace, if he stays, is looking good. Got a few other key players as well. So Millwall for me will finish 12th. Moving on to Bristol City, it's going to be a tough season for them. They've got a very nice stadium, very nice place. They've got a good gaffer. Always need a good gaffer. I think they'll be around 13th to 17th. It's got them to be 16th. I think they'll comfortably survive. I don't think relegation is a worry. I think trying to push for mid-table, possibly top 10 is their goal. I think they'll fall short quite a lot in 16th. But yeah, Bristol City looking a decent side, but good stadium. Definitely a really good stadium. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's Bristol City for me would be 16th. Moving on to West Brom, a shocking season last season. I don't think they'll have that good of a season this season either. West Brom's, in the Championship, West Brom really should be pushing for playoffs, really, but I don't see it in them. I don't really see them. I'm going to put them 10th. So just making top 10. But yeah, West Brom, they're an alright side. They're average. A few alright players, but yeah, their manager's not brilliant. And yeah, moving on to Reading. I think it's been a tough season for Reading, and they could be relegated. They could be in that relegation zone. I've got them to finish surviving. Somehow I've got them to finish over Hull. I've got them in 20th, but it's going to be tough for Reading. Very tough for Reading. They had a points deduction last season, and then they could have been a little bit higher. But yeah, definitely going to be a tough season for Reading. They lost Elise last season, which was key. They lost a few other players. Tata, whatever his name is, striker. Then he needs a bag to keep Reading alive, really. But yeah, it's gonna be tough for Reading. See what they can do. But yeah, moving on to Burnley. It's gonna be tough for Burnley. A few players are gonna leave. A lot of their players are leaving already. But I think just shower sheet payments and all that will keep them 4th. I think they'll be in the playoffs. I think they'll play Sheffield United in the playoffs. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Burnley, Nick Pope, I think is going. I think a few other players are going. I know their strikers going. Oh, I forgot his name. I'm so bad at names, man. Oh no, Right, I'll search it right now. Burnley striker. Workhorse, that was it. Workhorse. Yeah, we got Workhorse, not mine. Workhorse, Workhorse. I think he's going. He's left. So yeah, a few players are leaving, but definitely a strong side. Moving on to Watford, I think they'll get top two. I think they'll finish second. I think it'll be them and Norwich. And for me, it's going to be interesting to see that. For me, Watford, just getting automatics, but it's going to be interesting to see what they're like. Yeah, you got a few good players. Sarr, if he stays, he's a good player. They need to get a manager, keep the manager. That's all they have to do, and then they could be fine. But definitely they need to keep the manager. Moving on to Sunderland, it's going to be a right tough season for Sunderland this season. The whole goal this season is to survive, and I've got them to survive. I've got them to finish 19th. Other YouTubers have them higher, but for me 19th. I think they'll just keep that 19th spot. So yeah, so interesting. Moving on to Birmingham, and it's time. Birmingham have not had a good run in the Championship. They've finished like 18th, 20th, 18th, something like that a lot of the time. 18th towards 20th that they finish. And I think this is time for them to go. I think the teams who, the worst teams have gone, and it's going to be so tough for them to survive. It won't be Birmingham. It will be Birmingham like to survive. Roughly, I've got them to go down. Sadly, don't want to do. I do want to do that. Oh, to be fair, we have a derby with them now. We have St Andrews Derby. We have this derby with Cardiff, CCFC Derby. I don't think that's a derby, but loads of people are saying it's a derby, so I'm saying it's a derby. CCFC Derby, brilliant. Cardiff City, that's Cardiff City, brilliant. Alright, moving on to, so Birmingham will go down, Villa fans will be happy. But moving on to Preston, they'll finish mid-table, 13th for me, 13th, 17th. Yeah, it's going to be tough for them to survive. Tough for them to push for playoffs. But yeah, for me, Preston to just they've got some good players, some decent players. It's going to be tough to go to Preston. Preston though would be a big win if we can beat Preston home and away. But yeah, moving on to Luton Town. Last season they were in the playoffs. This season will be a different story. I think they'll be ninth. I think they'll push for playoffs, and they'll keep pushing and and getting harder and harder and harder. I literally on purpose, don't I? That so long. I think Luton will keep pushing, keep trying to get playoffs, but it's gonna be interesting to see. But yeah, Luton for me ninth. Moving on to Wigan, and sadly, it's another one bites the dust, isn't it? Another team goes down. 24th, and not 23rd, 24th. Yeah, it's going to be a tough season for Wigan. And Wigan, they can definitely easily survive. Not easily, but they can survive. They can try and overtake Reading or something like that. But it's going to be a real tough season for Wigan. I don't think it'll be too much separating 24th to like 19th. It won't be that big of a difference. But yeah. Moving on to Blackpool. It's going to be very tough for Blackpool. I think they're not very tough. I think they'll be mid-table, 15th. They had a good first season. I think they'll have another good season this season. So it's going to be interesting to see. Blackpool for me will just survive, or not just survive, will come to mid-table. Moving on to Huddersfield Town, and there's one spot in that playoff spot. Which one will it be? No, I'm joking. It is sadly to Huddersfield, Rotherham fans. Huddersfield will get playoffs. I think they had a very good season last season. They got to play a final, I think, and lost. I think that motivation will keep them going this season. They could flop again. They could do a Barnsley and get playoffs and then get relegated. They could do that, but for me, Huddersfield will stay in that top 6 for me. So well done, Huddersfield. And then moving on to Rotherham, they'll be 23rd and relegated because I just don't think they have that enough of a quality, and I really do not like Rotherham. I went to Rotherham and we got thrashed 4-0. a few years ago, and they had really fat pigeons. So that's a pigeon fact for you. But yeah, that wraps up the video. So for me, first Norwich, second Watford, third Huddersfield, fourth Burnley, fifth Sheffield United, sixth Coventry City, seventh Blackburn, eighth Middlesbrough, ninth Luton, 10th West Brom, 11th QPR, 12th Millwall, 13th Preston, 14th Stoke, 15th Blackpool, 16th Bristol, 17th Cardiff, 18th Swansea, 19th Sunderland, 20th Reading, 21st Hull, 22nd Birmingham, 23rd Rotherham, and 24th Wigan. Yeah, that's my early prediction. There will definitely be another. It'll be official prediction in around a month's time. But for now, thank you for 103 subscribers. Come on. Our goal is 150, and I think we can easily get there if we could keep going up and up and up. And more content to come. And yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Yeah, see you guys there.